All right, so we are live on Facebook with Super Heather Vickery. Um, I'd like to do a little introduction here. Like Heather is one of the persons that I've had more fun having interviews and podcasts. And if you like podcasts and you don't know who Heather Vickery is, that's a big red flag for you. Um, so, hey, we've been laughing our head off before jumping live. And instead of me introducing who is Heather Vickery, which is like an unstoppable, making a big impact in the world and doing some crazy good things. And she's just written a fantastic book that I can't wait to share the name with you all. I'd like to ask you the first question. Who is Heather Vickery?
Well, maybe it depends on the day, Carlos. No,
Okay.
thank you for having me here. I'm really so honored to be here with you and with your Unstoppables, because Carlos, you are so much fun to be with. So, who is Heather Vickery? I am a success and leadership coach. I'm an author. I'm a podcast producer and host. I'm a lesbian. I'm a single mom of 4. I'm a theater nerd. Yeah, that's me in a very short snippet.
Okay. Okay. That's a lot of things in one single person. How do you have time? Do you have time?
No. Oh, I'm a speaker. I forgot that part.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I don't have time for anything. But if you want something done, you're supposed to ask a busy person. That's the way that works.
Yeah. I know. That's true. That's true. The ones that never have time, they get nothing done. So, I mean, I was in your podcast and it was like the funniest interview I ever had, and it was
So much fun.
amazing. So I'm gonna go off the script a little bit here, but I'd like to. Could you share a little bit about your podcast, because it's one of the best, greatest podcasts in the Apple, in how do you call the app?
Podcast.
In
It's Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. And and yeah, like you and I got connected through Christine, who is like a great friend of mine. And
Yes.
she
Shout out Christine.
She was running out of words when it was, talking about you. So share a little bit about your podcast, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the Brave Files, the podcast is called The Brave Files. And I interview people who have stepped out of fear and into bravery in every possible way. So the show really is a personal journey show. And it's interesting when I have folks like you come on, and we did have such a good time, who you have a business and you have a mission and you want to talk about those things. But we come at them from a very unusual perspective, which is your personal brave journey. And some folks come on the show and they don't have a business, and some people pitch it and they just want to sell me something or my people something, and that's not a good fit. So when you and I first met, I was like, okay, what makes you special, Carlos? And of course the list is very long about what makes you special, and I like to have a lot of fun. We talk about celebration, we talk about knowing whether or not our choices are brave, and how can we redefine bravery so that it feels good and feels approachable and builds a momentum in our lives. And it's just this wonderful, heartwarming, feel good show that even when we're talking about difficult topics, I think always puts a smile on your face, or a little song in your heart. That sounds so effing cheesy, holy cow, but it does, right? Like, people listen and then they message me, or they call me, or they text me, or they email me, and they say, oh, I loved feeling how heart-centered that was, or now I'm going to go out and try this, or I didn't know you could be a drug dealer in Spain and then be a CEO. I didn't know you could do that. They know. That was the name of the episode, From Drug Dealer to CEO. I was like, Carlos, can we go all the way in?
All about marketing. It's all about marketing.
It's all about marketing. Many years ago. So the podcast has been around for almost 4 years now. And many years ago, I did an interview for a non-binary person who happens to be a friend of mine. And that was the first time we really went all in with episode titles, because this friend had started their life hating themselves and causing harm to the queer community. So we titled the episode Queer Recovering Homophobe. It's like, then you're getting attention, right? Then people are like, wait, what are we talking about here? So I've learned the power of speak your truth in a title.
Yeah, absolutely. everything starts with the title. Like,
It does.
otherwise, like, it's what's going to catch people's attention. So look, this is the Unstoppables live show, and the reason I created that is because in today's marketplace, online world, call it wherever, everyone seems to be so focused about making money, and a lot of people forget about the most important thing, which is making an impact, having a purpose, and
Yeah.
doing something that goes beyond money. And funny enough, that's when you make money. When you
That's exactly right. Money is a byproduct of all the
Yeah,
service.
absolutely.
Always. Yeah.
And I know that you're very big on that. So I'd like to know, what is the most important project that you're working on at the moment? And I know that you are, as a good busy person, you got like 1,000 things about it. What's the one thing that
Yeah.
makes you wake up in the morning excited to get to work?
Oh, wow. Well, those are two different questions.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So I do have a number of projects happening right now. And the one project that I'm the most passionate about and most excited about right now, you mentioned it, is my new book,
Yeah.
which is called Fuck Fearless, Making a Brave Leap.
Now,
Hope there are no sensitive ears in the Unstoppables, because I like dirty words. The book, I've been working on it for about a year. I wrote it last November, and then we edited. Like, I mean, if you've written a book, or any of you out there, it's all in the editing. Your book is good or not good based on the editing and the proofreading and the process and your team, the layout designers, and it's just amazing. So I've given birth 4 times, and this feels like an extra child.
Oh my goodness.
It's exciting and stressful. And you know what I think my favorite unexpected lesson is from creating this book and birthing it into the world, for lack of a better term, really, is that this cannot be done without asking for support. It is impossible.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, especially type A's, go-getters, entrepreneurs, we don't like to ask for help. We don't think we're supposed to ask for help. We shouldn't do it. Y'all are not going to grow to the levels that you want to grow without asking for help. And this is a process that I've been on for years. And actually, to answer the other part of that question, which is what gets me out of the bed excited in the morning, is being able to help people step into their own brave, which is what this book does. And part of being brave is knowing when to ask for help. And
Yeah.
I love that keeps presenting itself to me over and over and over again.
Yeah. That's so true. I'm talking to many entrepreneurs, well, they're my clients as well, and one of the common things is that we understand by default that asking for help is a weakness or a signal of weakness, or that sharing our weaknesses is an obvious signal of weakness. And it is when we humble up and we decide that we can't do everything, that we need some support, that that you show strength. And
That's right.
actually, there's someone that in my environment now, and it's someone who's asking questions all the time. And I was talking to someone, I was like, it's so cool, like some people would never ask questions because they will feel, they will think that I don't know anything. So people don't ask. They don't ask for help because it's like, what are they gonna think? So anyway, that's a great point. And yeah, absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you.
Asking for help and asking questions, Carlos, if I had to give one piece of advice on how to actually expand personally and professionally, and I think you might say something very similar, it's that, like, ask questions and get support.
Yeah. Ask the right questions.
Yes, you're going to do better if you ask the right questions, but honestly, asking any questions and letting somebody else answer and truly listening will get you further than making assumptions and just going with what you think you know. So
Yeah, totally awesome. So, okay, talking about impact, legacy, mission, vision. Now let's move forward to the future, like 200-300 years into the future. And now we are, we are in a funeral. And what do you want people to say about you? the day that you're gone. And
Yeah.
it sounds sad, but you get still 300 years to live. So
I get another 300 years. I might be old and decrepit. I'll be dust by then. I actually really love this question. And I will say that I just recently, you don't want to talk about death to your small children, but I've said to them, because I need them to know, I only want a party. Like when I die, it should be a really fucking big party.
yes.
And what do I want people talking about? It's my most sincere hope that they will say, my favorite thing about Heather was that she made me feel seen and heard, and that helped me step into my brave to do hard things because somebody saw me and believed in me.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's so powerful. Some people don't realize. When you genuinely believe in someone, when you genuinely care about someone, and sometimes people try to help other people and giving them all the solutions, and sometimes it takes as little as say, "Hey, I see you, I believe in you, and you got this," and automatically, like you transferring some of your trust and belief in that person into them, and they take action and they smash it out of the park. So that's a good thing.
Awesome. I love it. I get, and it's one of my favorite things about my job and my business is I get messages all the time that say, I did this thing and it felt so brave and I had to tell you, or I wanted to show you, I was quoted in this article, or I spoke at this event, or I left my house for the first time in 2 weeks and it felt so brave. And you were the first person I wanted to tell about it. And I'm like doing it right. When I get those messages, I'm like, yeah, Heather, you're doing it right. And that's great.
Yeah. That's the joy of what we do, isn't it?
Absolutely. That just goes to tell everybody, listen, give feedback. I mean, we give negative feedback, but we don't always give positive feedback. Because it matters. It really matters to have someone, and not just for me and Carlos, but in your life, you'll notice if you start going to folks and saying, this made an impact on me, I'm grateful for this, thank you for that, that's going to come back at you. It's going to boomerang, and it's so cool. So give feedback. Yeah.
And it's cool to see people's faces when you give them like a genuine compliment, because people are not used. And they like, a lot of people like get a little puzzled with what are you saying. Well, thank you. That was really nice. I really appreciate that, what you did. And we used to the negative, and we don't really know how to handle the positive. So let's give some love.
Absolutely. As much as possible, like spread it around like confetti.
It's free. It's free. Also, so the fourth question, and we got another one, but it's a surprise. But this one is, it's not a surprise anymore. What is the one killer piece of advice that you would like to share today here? This is the biggest thing that you can give someone, your last thing that you can tell someone. You need to make a huge impact in their lives. What it would be? And that's for the community of Unstoppables, for everyone watching on here, on YouTube or whatever.
Yes, community of Unstoppables. I will tell you to stop chasing fearlessness and embrace your fears, to choose bravely. Why did I name the book Fuck Fearless?
Yeah, we want to know.
It wasn't so that, as my mother asked me, if it wasn't so that you would go out and fuck fearlessly. That wasn't it.
And now I will never be able to read the title of that book without remembering your mom.
Well, she's memorable. No, why did I name the book Fuck Fearless? Because as a society, we are sold this bullshit story that we should be fearless, that is the goal. And it is not the goal. Fearlessness is for sociopaths and 3-year-olds, right? Fearlessness means you're not thoughtful, you're not intentional, you're not really looking at your options, you're not planning, it thinks that you are untouchable. None of those things are true, right? Fear, however, which is a natural, normal human emotion, is what enables us to choose bravely. So get to know your fears, ask yourselves real questions, take them apart, dig in, and then use that knowledge and leverage those fears into intentional bravery. And that's pretty much what this book is about. I have a system, a platform for suggesting you do that. It's memoirs and case studies and action items and all that. But when you choose bravely on purpose, with thought and with intention, you will discover very quickly that you choose bigger, you win bigger, and it's contagious.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
look, if there was no fear, we couldn't be brave, right? So we
That's right.
definitely need fear. Yeah. I mean, there's no way you cannot be fearful. Like we all have fears, but
Absolutely. And they're
ex-
different.
yeah,
And your brave may be different every day, right? Some days for people, publishing a book is brave. It certainly feels brave. Some days it's going on video. Some days it's, for some people, it may be just literally getting out of bed. We have days like that,
yeah,
right?
totally.
Or asking for help, or saying no, or saying yes, or whatever. We get to decide every day. And I really am on this sort of mission to revolutionize this concept of everyday bravery, of finding the moments, the smaller moments in your day where you can say, that feels brave today. I made this sales call. I sent this email. I drank 100 ounces of water for the first time, whatever, whatever it is, right?
Oh,
Because when you know it, when you know you're choosing bravely, it changes the way you show up. It changes the way you interact with yourself and the people around you. And that causes residual domino effect growth and change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So hey, there's one last question, and I'd like to know if you don't mind sharing with us, what is the most useless talent that you have?
I love that question. I am a master at the white girl overbite dance, which basically means I'm not a really great dancer, but the way that I use that talent. So if any of you out there have children, you will appreciate this. My favorite thing to do is dance in public, and it tortures them. And I love it. So I was at a restaurant with my youngest daughter the other day, and they played some music, and I was like, let's do it. And she's literally like physically trying to restrain me and hold me down. And the more she held me down, the more I shook my booty, and she's like, stop. And I said out loud to everybody, oh my God, I love dancing in public and embarrassing my kids. So that's my favorite.
I wish I had kids to do that as well.
Nieces, nephews, friends, kids, whomever you want. Although you're cool. So they're probably like, oh, Carlos is cool. I should dance like that in public.
I can dance. Not in public, not in private. But, yeah. That was great. It's pretty useless. I would say
useless.
I would say that you can make a good use out of it. But yeah.
I mean, embarrassing my kids. It's hilarious.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So Heather, it's been great having you here, but I would like to, how can people buy your book, pre-order it? I believe it's in pre-order. If you have a long link, don't try to spell it. I'm just gonna copy it when you send me the info later on and put it in the comments of the video or in the description if that's YouTube. And I'd like to know, where can we contact you, how we can listen to your podcast, like all the info.
I'm gonna give it to you.
So people can follow you, and I know that you're on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter. Carlos is not, but I love Twitter.
I'm not. Yeah. So
come play with me on Twitter.
It'd be great to have all the links to your social, especially for the book as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having another one of these interviews. That's fun.
It was so much fun. Yeah. So the book is on pre-order. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Bookshop. You can get it directly from me. Just go to vickeryandco.com/ffearlessbook, which I'm not going to spell because Carlos is going to give you the link. And let's play. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Vickery and Co. I am on LinkedIn, but not very often. So you can friend me there, but I might not respond. But I really love feedback. You can listen to the Brave Files podcast anywhere you enjoy podcasts for reals. And we're on Facebook, YouTube as well, anywhere. I love to meet new people, especially people who know people that I think are pretty awesome. And so if you know Carlos, then you're already my people. Let's hang out.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. So let's do that. Guys, you'll get the links, reach out and have fun. And thank you, Heather, for being here. And now it's this time where I need to stop this thing, which I always do in
Thank you, Carlos.
All right.